Hey, attention all RVers. Are you tired of the hassle of stiff and stuck RV tank valves, or crawling up under your travel trailer with a long line of impatient RVers behind you at the dump station on travel day? Well, guess what? We may have just found a solution, and we definitely found a solution for us. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Bob with RV Calvary here. Today we're looking at putting an auto drain system on our camper. We're going to show you why here. One of the things that we looked at a Drain Master, we looked at the Valterra version, and we looked at these Barker auto drains, okay, right here. And one of the reasons that we looked at these is couple of different reasons. One of the main reasons is I don't know if we've mentioned or not, but we're trying out full-time RVing. So we're staying at different locations seasonally, and so our black tanks are never really empty. And this one I don't really have to remove the valve, which I really didn't want to have to do anyway, and install a new one. They're also less expensive than some of the other ones, and pretty well built from what I've checked out and what I've read online. So we're going to get this thing installed and give it a try and let you know how it does. So what we did is, because we're here and we're staying here for a couple of months, instead of having our RV hoses out here, I put in one of these, just some PVC that I mounted in here permanently, and I can undo this and take it with us, obviously flush it out. But one of the things that the reason that we want to do this is, if you go up under here where we have a Grand Design 315 BH. So this is our gray tank here, okay, and this is our black tank, which I basically got to crawl underneath here to get to, which is a bit of a challenge at times. So the nice thing about it is we do have plenty of room to mount this valve over here, which I think is going to be pretty good. We do have the Valterra safety valve is what I call it, because there are times when, or in the event that one of these two fail, and we're setting up at camp and we take that cap off to hook up, I really don't want all of our goods all over my hands and stuff. So don't ask me how I know how that works, because we have had it happen. But anyway, these things are great too. It's been very nice. We haven't had any of these fail on us, but we'll see how this all goes. All right, I've already opened this thing up. Packaging, I gotta say, came out pretty well. This is, it's pretty solid, very well done. I've already opened it up before. Here, I put this in just to keep everything together, but here's the switch. Switch looks pretty heavy duty. I wasn't a big fan of this switch per se, but we'll make it work. I like the way the Valterras were set up. They look a little better, but this is kind of, doesn't really matter. It's going into the our water bay. We've got some additional hardware, and this is the actual little guy here that attaches to your valve, and it just plugs right in. It's got a bracket right here that attaches to that, which is seems pretty good from what I can tell. Like I said, we'll do a full review on it. We purchased this with our own money too. Nobody's sponsoring us. We're not that big to get sponsored by anybody as a channel. So it's our funds that are doing this. So we'll let you know how this thing works out over time here. We'll do some follow-ups just to so either you don't waste your money or something we can recommend, but we'll see how it goes. We are working on this auto drain system and got it installed, which I'll show you in a minute. Bought some loom here. Got this at Harbor Freight. It's like $4 for 10 feet. This is what we're going to wrap our wires in, just to keep them secure. One of the other things too that we're going to be doing is I solder all my joints, just because it's a little bit, these things are bouncing down the road. So these campers, these RVs, so I know a lot of people use the Wagos and use wire, you know, wire nuts and stuff like that, which is just your preference. I just like to solder them and put some heat shrink on there. That way I know they're secure, and then I wrap them in this wire loom. So brought over a little baggie. I'm notorious for losing parts, and also notorious for not reading instructions. So I think we're going to read these. And you're going to get a full review out of this because we are full-time, and we don't leave our valves open. Our black tank, at least, I do put a P-trap in here, so that we can leave our gray in without it hurting anything. You leave a little area on the bottom, so like a P-trap like you have in your house. And that works, as we've covered with other videos, so your gray tank really doesn't get dried out or anything. We're going to get all of our parts and components in here so I don't lose anything, and see how all this goes together. So, all right. Looking this stuff all over. All right, I got a couple of washers in here, a couple of nuts, and a couple of lock nuts, and whatever this gadget is. All right, so that takes care of that crap. All right, so if I get a couple of years out of this thing with draining our tank, it takes us about a week to drain our tanks. Every 4 to 5 days, basically, not really a complete week. If I get a couple of years out of this thing, I'll be happy. The wiring will be done, so all I really have to do is order a new actuator, provided they stay in business and all that good stuff. It looks like they've been around for a little while. But replacing that is relatively easy because this thing just plugs right in. So I'm banking on the fact that if it does go bad, if the switch goes bad, or the actuator, which I would think that would be, it's pretty solid. Gotta say, I mean, it seems pretty well made. I'm just kind of looking at it over based on some of the other stuff that I've seen. If I get a couple of years out of this thing with using it at least once a week, it does say this is the 3-inch model. They do make one for the 1.5 inch. This does not come with a valve, which I knew in advance. I didn't want the one with a valve because I didn't want to have to replace my valve and dig into all that mess. The one thing that I do notice on the switch that may not be an issue, but I think I'm going to be a little cautious of anyway. Not really on the switch. Let me reverse that on this drain valve, because this is going underneath the camper, this is pretty much a watertight clip right here that goes on there, but I think I'm going to put some silicone around that as well once we get going, just to give it a little bit of reinforcement, and make sure that water doesn't get inside this thing. As we're going down the highway and our different adventures, water will be splashing up on here. Just want to make sure that it is 100%. I mean, that's a pretty good seal on it. It looks like it's sealed up all the way around, but just to be safe, I'm probably going to dab some silicone around that, just to make sure. So I'm a little paranoid about things like that when it comes to this stuff. So A couple of the other things that you're going to need, this is standard trailer wiring that you can get actually at, because it does not come with enough wire, as it really shouldn't. I did see some of the big knocks on it were the fact that it didn't have enough wire, but realistically, I don't know how anybody could predict. Could they throw in a 25-foot spool of wire? Yeah, they probably could. But realistically, it's not really that big of a deal. A lot of the other ones that they have, Valteras and stuff like that, depending on where you're placing this, you may be short on wire with them as well. So I don't really find it to be that big of an issue. Sorry, there was a motorcycle going by. But what I do like about this one is I can take it off if needed, and replace it if needed. So, you know, and without having to remove my valves that are working perfectly right now. Probably after I get this installed, just our luck, valves will have to be replaced and I have to take it apart anyway. That's just the way things go. So we finished up the auto drain and ran all the wires under the yellow underbelly and put it right here, and basically labeled it because I'm going to put the other one right here. Ran the wires all up under the underbelly there, and you just hit the button here and it'll stay blinking when it's open, and it'll drain right on out. And then you hit this button, hit it down, let it turn off, and you'll hear it actuating, but much better. So when we close it, we hit the bottom, and you can hear it, and this light turns out. But mounted it to the wall here. Pretty robust switch here, and we'll see how long this lasts. So we ran the wires right from under the underbelly. I put it in this wiring loom here. You can get that at Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere. And then we ran it to the positive and the negative. It does have an inline fuse, which I put in the wet bay behind the switch. So, but fairly easy. Instead of trying to connect to a light switch or anything like that, went ahead and ran it all the way. So that way we can still drain. Could have ran it into our battery disconnect too, but this was actually a little easier. So this is our final review of the Barkley auto drain. We've had it for about 1.5 years now. It doesn't seem that long, does it? No. But it's been a while, and I didn't film the wiring and all that because that's basically really easy. Yeah, it doesn't come with the wiring, but they have no idea how long you're gonna get your rig is. The other thing is too is it is one of the cheaper of all the auto drains out there. So if they, you know, for the price, you know, you can buy your wire. The wire I used was just trailer wire. You can use any trailer wire that you can get at Walmart. You can get it at any auto supply place, and that's what I used. I put it in a loom that we purchased from Harbor Freight, and we just ran it up under our underbelly and into our battery. It was really simple. The other thing about that I really like about it is the fact that if it does go bad, it's really easy to replace because I've already got the wiring there. So you basically just unplug it, disconnect it, and you're ready to go. So so as far as its functionality,
it's a lifesaver, game changer.
Yeah, it gets used a lot too. So what are your...
Unless you're a contortionist.
Especially with our rig. So
super easy. Like, just really push a button, the brown river flows, you close it, fill it up, or close it to, yeah, push the button to close it, and then it's super easy, and it's a huge game changer.
Yeah, it depends on how your rig is set up too. If you have a fifth wheel that has the big long cable, they're going to go bad. I've helped people with those. They always get jammed up. So this is a much better solution, in my opinion. Now if your valves are right there, like on our old camper, they're real easy to pull, then maybe this isn't for you. But where our black tank handle was, you had to basically reach up under the rig, which is 24 inches, I would say, or so, and you had to pull it out this way, which with your hose and everything isn't always feasible, so it was a little difficult to do. Our gray tank's a lot easier because it's right there, yeah. But our black tank was a little bit more difficult. I've not the youngest person or the lightest person in the world, so crawling up under there is not something I wanted to do. And we literally, even if I was in great shape, you literally have to get on all fours to reach that black handle tank. So but overall, I think it saved us a lot of let me tell you, everybody knows that Sundays are a big travel day. And when you're camping and you're hitting that dump station on the way out, I mean, connecting your hose, yeah, you still got to get under there to connect your hose. Okay, that's a no-brainer. But
that's like centrally located.
Yeah, it's centrally located. It's a lot easier to get to. And in all honesty, just clipping your hose on and then boom, and hitting your auto flush, just tying the thing up to that, much quicker and much easier than you know, the alternative of having to crawl up under there. And you know what, everybody hoses everything off, or hopefully they did, at the dump station, but crawling underneath there at the dump station, not fun when you've got everybody's, you know, there's fecal matter in that water. So but this is you definitely think it's one of our better mods.
Mods, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think it's one of my favorite mods. I didn't like the switch at first, but I gotta say, after using it and looking at that switch is really heavy duty. I mean, that's a heavy duty switch. Mm-hmm. And
a switch is a switch to me. So.
Yeah, but well, the other ones had like just a regular switch, which as much as we use that thing, I think it would have been
at least once a week, if not 2 times a week.
Yeah, but even when we're doing it once a week, we kind of do the thing that the tag says that you're not supposed to do. So we close our tank, we'll fill it up with water. I've got a water meter on there, and we'll fill that up with water, and probably we've got a 40-gallon tank. I'll fill it up to about 30 gallons, and then we release it again. So we do probably 3 to 4, sometimes 5 flushes. So it gets opened and closed at least 5 times per week. Yeah, because it takes us about a week for our black tanks to fill up. We're full-time RVers too, so so it's gotten a lot of usage. It's held up really well.
We'll make this video and the thing will break.
Yeah, well, we'll let you know. But I think
knock on wood.
Yeah, I think we've gotten our money's worth out of this thing as well. And even if we do have to replace it, it's something easy to do, but we highly recommend it. At this point, we've had enough usage to test it, and then we'll put a link in the description below. You can also visit our web page. We do get a little bit of a commission from Amazon. It ain't much, trust me. So, but it does help.
Well, then we can buy different products.
Yeah.
Our review.
Yeah, and we buy all the products with our own money. We're not sponsored. Our channel's not that big, but we give honest reviews of whether something works or it doesn't work. I mean, we'll tell you that flat out. If it's crap, then we're going to tell you it's crap. So, we're not going to sugarcoat it. Anyway, hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and hope everybody's having a great day or night, depending on when you're watching this video. And thank you.
Bye. See you later.